Storm's Tech Channel here, and today I'm doing a video about this. So I'm on firstwireless.com here. So this has met its FCC deadline to have 70% of the US covered in its 5G network. So that is a win. So if you guys want to check this out, a link will be down below, of course. So like I said, I'm on firstwireless.com here, and it says that this 5G network is now available to over 70% of the US population. So yeah. So it says that Dish Wireless has been working feverishly to meet its FCC build-out requirements, and today, or as of June 15th, because this article was published on June 15th, today's June 21st, it announced that it offers 5G broadband service to over 70% of the U.S. population. Dish said its 5G service is available to more than 240 million Americans, marking a major milestone for Dish, which built a first-of-its-kind 5G standalone network based on Open Radio Access Network. Dish was under an FCC mandate to cover 70% of the U.S. as part of the deal that enabled T-Mobile to acquire Sprint. Dish said it has also satisfied all other June 14, 2023 FCC commitments, including the deployment of over 15,000 5G sites. The 70% coverage milestone uses Dish's AWS-4 lower 700 MHz E block, AWS H block, and 600 MHz spectrum. Here's a quote from Vice President Network Development at Dish Wireless, Dave Mayer, and he says, quote, "Our team has worked tirelessly for years, and this achievement is a testament to their dedication and commitment as we grow the world's first and only 5G cloud-native Open RAN network." Then he goes on to say, "We appreciate the continued support and efforts from our partners as this continues to lead the industry in Open RAN deployment." End quote. Dish was the first U.S. operator to launch a 5G voice service or voice over new radio, going live in Las Vegas last year, and it's been steadily increasing voice over new radio functionality in additional markets. During the company's earnings call last month, Dish Wireless President and COO said they were prepared to offer voice over new radio commercially in a little more than 50 cities through Boost Mobile, and they expect that by the end of this year, they will be serving the majority of the U.S. population with voiceover and with voiceover new radio, while steadily getting more band-sensitive devices into the distribution chain. It says in a statement, Dish Wireless COO and President says, "Now they have made significant progress for the network build. They can focus on monetizing the network through retail and enterprise growth and owner economics. Customers can access the Dish 5G broadband network through Project Genesis, which it says is available to anyone in a qualifying location within the 70% coverage area. The Moto Edge Plus 2023 is available to Project Genesis subscribers and is equipped with three carrier aggregation that supports band 29, band 66, band 70, and band 71. And then it goes on to say here, expectations met. Says this 5G build-out deadline comes as it's dealing with multiple other challenges, including the effects of February cyber attack. That's like the biggest one. Customer churn of Boost Mobile and launching the new Boost Infinite postpaid brand. So while Dish has been doing some good things in terms of like trying to get its 5G network built out and try to cover just 100% that it was required to by June 14th, Dish has also been facing other problems as well. The biggest one was a cyber attack from 4 months ago, back in February. That 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 the whole cyber attack thing, that thing just went downhill for this. It went downhill because people were leaving Beast Mobile. This was losing customers left and right because of it. Beast Mobile was cutting people's phones off because they couldn't pay their phone bill, which even though it wasn't their fault. So this has had a lot of challenges this year. The cyber attack was the biggest one they've had this year. They've lost customers. They're trying to get the Boost Infinite postpaid brand up and running and stuff like that. And the stock prices at the stock market haven't been good ever since the cyber attack. So this is dealing with a lot of stuff right now. So having met the FCC deadline is a positive for them, So yeah. So let's go ahead and continue this. It says fucking microphone. It says leading up to the 11:59 p.m. June 14th deadline, this executive says they expected to meet the FCC's build-out deadline. Last month at the ConnectX conference in New Orleans, Mayor said that his team was busting their tails to build a network with about 18,000 5G sites to play as of the end of Q1 2023. It says any note for investors. New Street Research analyst Jonathan Chaplin said the fact that this voice over new radio is not working in markets covering 20% of the U.S. population as a positive step for this network economics, as this customers to date typically had to rely on the networks of MVNO partners T-Mobile and at&t due to the difficulty of handoffs between this 5G SA network and the other carrier networks. It says, but the New Street Research team has been writing for the last several months that this would reach this milestone, so it's not a big change in the calculation about the company. It says, quote, we think the catalyst is well understood by the market as such. While we regard the announcement as positive, it is likely to have a limited impact on investor views of the credit or equity beyond the clearing of an overhang. End quote. Questions ahead. Even though all this met its FCC deadline to have 70% of the U.S. covered in its 5G network, there are still questions ahead about the network and stuff like that. And of course, this network is a new player in this wireless industry. They're new here, so of course there are gonna be questions and stuff like that. So let's see what it has to say here. It says, of course, while it's a big milestone for this, analysts continue to question its wireless aspirations. It says, while this may be meeting the letter of the law, it's not yet in practicality operating as a replacement for Sprint as a fourth facilities-based carrier. In terms of 5G network build-out requirements, the question is, what are they meeting? Said founder of Recon Analytics. Says if it's just a matter of offering a data connection, this could easily meet the 70% goal. But if it's about voice, I'm not sure. He said so. Pretty interesting there. It says even longer established operators like T-Mobile are finding challenges deploying voice over new radio. Nobody else can do this network wide. Noting that T-Mobile turned on voice over new radio in only 6 markets, but even there it's got its own voice over LTE as a fallback, which this does not. Next deadline, so this has another deadline that they must meet. So let's check this out too. So it said this next build out deadline reaching 75% of the parcel economic areas by June 2025. That's 2 years from now. That's June 25th, 1st when I am recording this video here. That's 2 years from now. The only thing it says, is it says June 2025, so it's 2 years from now. It says it's a much harder goal as it requires a lot more capital and densification. That is a tough one. It says absolutely expects. I guess how you say this person's last name is intern or interner. I guess that's how you say his last name. I guess I'm not really sure. He says he absolutely expects this to ask the FCC for more time to meet the 2025 deadline, and if they are smart, they will ask for an extension that is later than its mandate not to sell a certain spectrum. It says it's not clear how much this meeting of the mandate will change Wall Street's perspective, as analysts have been downgrading the stock. Last week, S&P Global announced this network will be falling off. The S&P 500 shares have lost more than 50% of their value so far this year. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, the cyber attack that they suffered in February, that was a major reason for this stock to plummeting the way it is now. So this hasn't been doing good in terms of the stock market. So if you guys are investing in this, you guys have lost a lot of money. So yeah. Or if you guys think about investing in this at the stock market, I would suggest you guys wait to do that, because this stock is not good right now. I don't know what this stock is because I have not checked it in a while, so I don't know what the stock is right now. Don't know. It says that to be sure, questions about this intentions in wireless will continue. This investors, both bull and bear, have long debated whether this will actually follow through with plans to compete in wireless or execute a minimally significant build to satisfy the FCC's build-out timeline. Bidding time until they are able to sell spectrum, noted Moffett Natson analyst Craig Moffett in a recent report. Says the report noted that actually competing in wireless would be vastly more expensive than minimally satisfying the FCC's build-out requirements. The questions often turn to, will Dish try to sell some of its spectrum, and if so, who would be interested in buying it and at what price? It says it is not clear whether a spectrum sale would happen at a price high enough to cover all of Dish's debt, tire lease obligations, and MVNO traffic obligations. Moffett wrote, and then it goes on to say, hey, quote, Dish says this equity value is balanced on a knife's edge that depends on an entirely unnotable after-tax price realization of its spectrum portfolio, which could easily be slightly below or slightly above their $30 billion debt load. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. This has met its FCC deadline to cover 100% of the U.S. in its 5G network, so that's a positive for Dish. So they don't have to worry about the fine for that. So now they can focus on building the network. It also talks about in the article, they talk about the challenges that Dish has been going through this year. The cyber attack was the big one, losing customers at Boost Mobile and all that, losing customers left and right after the cyber attack. That was the main reason why Dish has been losing customers, because of the cyber attack. It also talks about it talks about Dish's next deadline and stuff like that, which they had to meet that by 2025 in June. They had to cover 75% of the partial economic areas. I'm not sure what that is. They had to cover 75% of that. So I don't know what that is exactly. So we'll see if this will meet their 2025 deadline for that. So time will tell. So stay tuned for that. This is very interesting. But this has met its first deadline, so that's good news for this. So this can focus on building out its network and stuff like that, and hopefully this will get back on track and making hopefully this will get back on track and people will come back to this and be smoking and whatnot and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean this is a good thing for this that they met the FCC deadline, but they have another deadline in 2 years from now. So we'll see if they'll meet that. So yeah, this is awesome for this. I think this is really awesome for this, and so yeah, that's a win. So this avoids a fine. I forgot what it was. I forgot what the fine was if they did not meet the deadline. So they avoid that, but they have another deadline in 2 years. So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, guys. If it helps me out a lot, please rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.